The title of this video is Results. Hooray! Something's happened. You've created something. Is it good is the question. The hats in the air suggest you've had some kind of a win. Hooray! Let's get into the result. Well, there's the reporting of them, restating the procedure, what are the general findings and specific findings, and then there's the interpretation, commenting on them. But that's separate. In detail, you state your procedures, justify your procedures, state your results, state comments on the results. Separate those out. Pull these sorts of frameworks into your paper and have these as paragraphs. Write a topic sentence, justify those sentences. Topic sentence is a claim, support those claims with your work. Now, some things are inside your control and some things are outside your control. You've built something, you haven't done mathematics, so you haven't proven anything. Nothing is conclusive. You're arguing that what you've created has this effect based on the mathematics, based on the data. You've collected some data that answers a question, but the raw data isn't that interesting. Neither is that data that you've tweaked in some way. And reviewers look very heavily for bias in data. Because you have page limits, the data gets compressed into figures. And as we've pointed out, creating figures is a bit of an art in its own sense. Data that is not critical to answering the key research questions is often left out. You don't have the space. Grab the key data, create the one story, leave the rest out. You don't have the space. So what's included? Well, you've got an introductory context stating the research problem. Okay, again with the funnel. A summary of the key findings. You include your pictures, your charts, highlight the observations. Is there something interesting? Use the past tense when referring to your results. The paper is a point in time. There's before your paper, where some people did research, and then there's after your paper. There's this continuous link of the development in engineering, and your paper is one point on that chain. You need to be aware of its contribution and its place within the history. Only focus on findings that are relevant and address the key questions. We've already talked about graphs, but some more points. Refer to each non-textual element in numbered order, so table 1, table 2. Often journals will have rules around this. If you place them all at the end, make sure they are clearly distinguished from any other material. You really need to separate out those tables and have them clear. They should all have titles, they should all follow the format, and be sure that each non-textual element is sufficiently complete so that it can stand on its own separate to the text. Okay, so it should tell its own story. Now the reason for that is that if somebody is just skimming the paper and they're looking at the pictures, the captions should show what the pictures are about and give you enough information so you don't have to read the surrounding text. If somebody's just skimming, they're going to look at the graphs, think about biases, think about accuracy, but they're going to want to get the story from text that's located very close to the graph. So keep that tightly coupled together. Benefits: a picture is worth 1,000 words. That is literal with graphs. You summarize information. Non-textual elements help you highlight important pieces of information, and they don't break up the narrative flow because you can just position them amidst your text. And they're visually engaging. They draw your eye to them. And like we said before, you can pack them in. You can shrink them in various dimensions and still get across the important information. Like many things, there's something to avoid. You don't interpret your results in the results section. You're just saying what you found. Be selective about ignoring negative results. Like we said, there's some advantage to reporting negative results, but if you don't think anyone's likely to find this path, it's not worth mentioning. Be very specific. Don't confuse figures with tables, and don't repeat information. The same language, the same pictures. You really need to package things very carefully so that the reader is taken on that journey through what you found.